Hey everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and I'm back on my free-to-play account today with my first Tier 9 tank on the account, and yeah, it's gotta be the Tier 9 Italian auto-reloading medium tank. It is the Standard B. Now I featured this tank on the channel back in December in a video that was called Gold Standard, but I guess I'm not going to be firing much gold on my free-to-play account. We'll actually have to check, because I've got 16 rounds of heat loaded in this tank. We'll have to see if that number stays 16 towards the end of it. Now, I am playing without the top tracks on this vehicle, but funnily enough, you can actually manage to equip the turret and the big gun on this tank, the 105mm, without equipping the tracks. So I have to admit, I've been min-maxing the amount of free experience that I'm trying to save on this account, and what I can really invest in and what I want to spend it in to try and get the maximum benefit, because free experience is blooming precious, boys and girls. And funnily enough, the top turret on this tank is lighter than the stock turret, which allows you to not even have to get the tracks on this tank and have it nearly fully upgraded. But of course, we're going to be suffering a little bit with our dispersion when we're moving, and also a little bit with the traverse speeds as well as the ground resistances. So yeah, proper free-to-play stuff here. QuickyBaby featuring non-fully elite tanks on his channel, on his free-to-play account at Tier 9. What is this? Well, it's 2019. At least said 2018 there. Does anyone else do that? We're in April. I should really get over the fact. Maybe, you know, probably towards like the October period, then I'm not going to be messing the date up enough. You know, it's going to take about 9 months before I've really managed to get sunk in that, yeah, it is 2019, right? Okay, so first Tier 9 tank. What have I been noticing? Well, I've been noticing that when I play this tank without a premium account, even if I don't fire premium ammunition and I only use standard consumables, I'm pretty much breaking even. And even in some of my better games in this tank, where I do an incredible amount of damage, if I do take a few chancy shots, and some of them either ricochet or they miss altogether, like the rounds that you saw fired against the E50 and the bat chat there, then it really starts to eat into your credit potential. Even though the rounds on this tank are not really that expensive, 360 alpha damage and then 920 pop, it's not too bad. But yeah, when you are running a standard account in World of Tanks, it is incredibly hard to make a profit unless you are playing a premium tank above Tier 8. But then again, there aren't any premium tanks above Tier 8. And I guess that's why a lot of people just don't even really reach Tier 9 and Tier 10. This was something that, oh, wait a minute, got to pause for this bit. 1 into the E50, 2 into the E50, locking his tracks down. And we're going to squeeze one right up into the lower plate there. Oh, there's some good trades. He does 355 to me, and I do 355 3 times to him. Beautiful stuff, but I'm going to have the mother of all reloads now, and I'm thinking, do I need to run away here, or shall I stay below the dip? Because I don't want to get shot by that FV215B, or even the E100 inside the center. But as I was saying, I can understand why a lot of people don't even really reach the high tiers of World of Tanks, and why they just derp around at Tier 6. Probably purely because of a premium account, and why quite a few people who either watch my stream or meeting all of you, people who are only into YouTube at events like Tank Fest, telling me, I'm saying like, oh, so what kind of vehicles have you got? And they'll say that they've been playing for 4 years, but they don't quite have a top tier tank yet. I guess this account's a bit weird because it's about half a year old now, this account, but I'm already starting to get closer towards Tier 10. But then again, I guess I'm more than an active player, right, with already nearly a couple of thousand games on this account now. All right, are we going to be able to finish off this E50? Come on, baby, feed me. And I'm just thinking, is it worth firing? No, I just wanted to wait for the reload. Because, as I said in my Pantera video this week, I'm not going to talk all about the auto-reloading mechanics because you've probably already heard all of that from the video that I think came out either on Sunday or Tuesday. I'm not sure which. Yeah, most definitely Sunday. That if you fire while the auto-reloader is reloading, it interrupts the reload completely, and you really do absolutely destroy your damage per minute. Which is why you'll, more often than not, see me waiting to be able to get that extra shot into my opponent. So we fire 1 at the RU, and, well, we're not going to wait here, but we'll have to see if that comes up later on. Anyway, free-to-play Tier 9. I'm quite happy that I'm showcasing this vehicle today because, as I said, the last time I've featured this tank on the channel was in December in a video called Gold Standard. And luckily no gold fired so far today. But I don't know. It's definitely affecting my competitiveness, ladies and gents. When I was playing this tank stock, I'd like to go on record and say that this is one of my favorite tanks on my main account. And I'm able to get pretty much about 65 to 70% wins at Tier 9 playing solo, although whether I'm going to be able to do that now with Wargaming's new matchmaker is another question. I absolutely hate, on the other hand, shooting at 257s. I try to shoot at the lower plate, then I'm thinking, shall I shoot at the mid plate or wait till his lower plate is just slightly upwards so I can shoot one right up into it. God, I hate those 257s. Absolute pain in the backside to be able to penetrate. Even when they're just not even really trying to use their armor effectively, it still seems to just absolutely work. So as I said, featured this tank. I absolutely love it on my main account. But I have to admit, while playing this tank stock on my free-to-play account, oh my goodness, ladies and gents, I was starting to actually hate it. I'm not going to lie, when this tank was stock, I was doing less damage than I was in the fully upgraded Pantera at the previous tier. Even though I'm up a whole tier higher and you think the tank would be better, no, I was struggling to get 1,500 average damage in this tank. Absolutely pathetic. But it was absolutely god-awful stock. I was bouncing so many shells left, right, and center, and it just felt like you were meeting so many high-tier vehicles that having that 220 millimeters of penetration just really not able to compete. And as soon as I got the upgraded gun, I think my damage pretty much doubled in this vehicle, and so do keep that in mind. Oh, an absolute disaster here. I wanted to have the ambush off on the E50, and we don't quite manage to get it. And at that moment, we were outnumbered by 5 tanks on the enemy team. It was 4 versus 9, and we're going to have our work cut out for us if we want to come back into this. It's me, a T-54 lightweight, an FE-4005, and an artillery versus a whole plethora of enemy vehicles. But with moves like that against the E-50, tricking him into thinking where I was and then getting the jump shot into his side, yeah, maybe this isn't going to go too badly. Alright, so in these kind of scenarios when you're outnumbered, even though we are the defenders and we only have to survive, you definitely want to keep killing them before they all come for you at the same time. And if you allow yourselves to get overwhelmed against something like an autoloader like the Batchat, then it's going to be very bad days. So what I want to do is I want to push out here before the Object 277 pushes me. And there you go, a second tank confirmed. And now we've changed the 4 versus 9 into a 4 versus 6 on the enemy team, so it's definitely starting to look better for us. So the Object 277 tries to flank across, and the T-54 lightweight plants one into the back of him. They're all coming at us one by one, although I think they're still trying to work together to be able to take this game down. They probably thought they had it in the bag a minute ago. So I'm asking my T-54 lightweight to get vision in the southwest corner. You see, I pinged the hill because I was hoping the T-54 lightweight was going to spot the WTF Panzer IV, but right now it's my opportunity to be able to save him from the Super Conqueror. And they're all coming at us on one-shots. This is beautiful. I did not think we even stood a chance of being able to come back into this game. And I'm trying to make my movements very erratic to try and avoid the artillery on the enemy team. But he nearly manages to land a clean shot into us. But as you can see, I line up my reticle, or should I say, yeah, the reticle, with where the shell came from, and I ping the map to let my team know where the artillery will be. So maybe they'll be able to avoid it. Or alternatively, when we're hunting down artillery at the end of the game, maybe we'll be able to finish it off. Alright, so the FE-4005 on the other flank puts off a big hit into his opposite number, shutting him down, and things are starting to look really good for us as now we outnumber the enemy team. And I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to defend against this ST-1, although we've got to reverse. He's getting dangerously close to us. But now that he's stunned, I'm feeling very confident. But actually, he uses his med kit just before I start shooting him, so I was worried he might have the view range to be able to spot us. But luckily, while the second shot misses, due to that high roll with the first shot, the third one is an absolute sinker to be able to finish off the Tier 9 Soviet Heavy. And whoa, what a comeback! 6 kills, 5,000 damage that we've seen in the Standard B. I don't think we even had the tracks at that time on this vehicle. I'm feeling pretty chipper about this, ladies and gents, that I might be able to set a new standard for the Tier 9 Italian auto reloader. Alright, so now I've changed ammunition type from APCR to HESH. And these HESH rounds, the alpha damage increases from 360 up to 440, which is exactly the amount of hit points that Tier 9 French artillery have, and so I was hoping that I was going to be able to kill him in a single shot. Luckily for me, the artillery lowers his hit points, where it's no longer a 50-50 roll, and we put a round into the top of the Tier 9 turreted French self-propelled gun to be able to finish him off and confirm our kill tally up to 7. Alright, so now I'm just loading again, and I'm noticed that the T-54 Alf Panzer IV is no longer at that G2 area. So he must have gone up on top of the hill to try and poach us, right? Okay, maybe it's looking good for us. Where is he going to be? He's on my right! And he looks like he's aiming at somebody else. I don't quite have a shot into the back of his tank. He's turning his turret now towards me. And kablamo! Radley Walters medal. I was happy about that one. 8 kills. 5,700 damage that we saw, and as we're going to see in the post-game stats, this one was quite a cracker. Got a tongue twister at the end there. And that was despite the Battle Hero medals of the Radley Walters medal for 8 kills, the Levislaos medal for killing 2 enemy vehicles that were higher tier than us, and a high caliber for the 6,000 damage that we dealt. Look at that base experience. Now, in the post-game stats, I looked at this. I thought, 4,482. That's a pretty good double because I'm so used to having a premium account. I thought it was 2,200, then doubled. And then it dawned on me that I wasn't running a premium account and that the base experience was whopping high for a tier 9 tank. I have to admit, even I was pretty chuffed about this setting a new experience record on my free-to-play account in a game that I would have been even super proud of on my pay-to-win account or my main account, whatever you want to be calling it. But I must give a massive shout out to the T54 lightweight on my team, Zlotoklos, because without you, man, I definitely would have faltered here. And what might be a little bit demoralizing for any of you players out there who are free to play, cannot afford a premium account, and are thinking, will I be able to get towards tier 9 and tier 10 without just hemorrhaging credits? I only made 13,000 credits this game, even though I didn't fire any premium rounds. My tank wasn't destroyed, and we dealt 6,000 damage. Considering that this was far from an average game, the fact that we made so few credits is immensely alarming to the possibility of really pushing that far above tier 7 or even tier 8 and consistently either breaking even or even making a profit. Either way, it feels really refreshing for me to be almost relearning the very basics of World of Tanks 8 years after I first reached tier 9. And while the experience that I learned in those 50,000 games or so on my main account has undoubtedly not been lost, I'm so happy that I started this free-to-play account again, because it's really opened my eyes to how a lot of all you and probably the majority of my viewers actually play this game, and the troubles and not having the luxuries and the advantages that I have on my main account has definitely forced me to think in different ways. And it means that when I go back to my main account, that the luxuries that I have are not really a necessity, but I definitely appreciate them more than when I've just become accustomed to them as an everyday thing. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a thumbs up, but if you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments where you think the break-even point is in World of Tanks as to how far you can go up the tech tree without necessarily having a premium account. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.